Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel and welcome to day 59 of the 100-day project. Now, what I'm going to do here today is show you how I have used a product. I don't know what these are called. The packaging is long since gone, but hopefully you can see that they are, I don't know what they are. They're stuck. They're relatively thin, sticky back, stuck to this piece of acetate. So we've got these with the pre-drilled holes. So of course, when I saw these in a grab bag at a thrift store, I automatically thought of little charms or little dangles. I don't know what the excuse me, what the intended purpose was. Here are these little guys that do not have holes in them. And then on this sheet, there are these tiny little squares, I'd say 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and then these rectangles that sort of have, oh, these are just little frames. So, okay, I won't be able to use those today for, oh, maybe I can. Well, anyway, for now, I'm just going to separate them because I felt them like this and I thought, oh, they're one piece, but clearly not. So I'll show you ones that I've done in the past and just give you some ideas of how they can be used. So in this case, cute little face of a woman. I've used a bulb pin and a covered paper clip. So, of course, you can use these anywhere you'd use a dangle of any kind. Now this one, I can't quite remember where this paper came from, but obviously, oh, you know what? This was me trying out stamps. So I guess I stamped both sides of the paper. In this case, this was part of a digital of mine, and the back side is plain white. Some of them came out of books. Teeny tiny little images that are too cute not to use. And they, of course, have some words on the other side. But that's fine. I mean, we're always looking for book paper, book pages. So I'm just going to put some light on this subject because it kind of feels a bit, where is this other one? Sorry about that. I thought it was bright enough in here, but perhaps not. So that will maybe help or create more shadows. Not sure. Here's another one of those gals. And, okay, paper clip, bulb pins, paper clip, safety pin, teeny tiny. That, I think, came out of a calendar, perhaps. Oh, I didn't do anything with that one. This one, oh, I know what it was. This was wrapping paper, vintage wrapping paper. So then I just added these little dollar store buttons. You know, you get a bunch of them just stuck to a piece of acetate. So I put one, since there's a pattern on both sides, I put one on each side and just added a tiny blue bead to the side that has some blue on it. This is a bee. Well, that's sort of stating the obvious, isn't it? This, my lovelies, is a bee. No, it's probably not even a bee. I think it's a wasp. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now I have a second one. Now, I'm sure you cannot see this, but what I can see, and I can even see that on some of these guys, there's some really faint ripples, marks, you know, sort of like if you ever looked at a piece of glass that has kind of a flaw in it. That's sort of the thing that I'm seeing there. So anyway, in front of you, I wanted to try and see whether this stuff, whatever it is, would take some inking. Because, you know, sometimes that just gives the feel that a person wants. And if the cutting wasn't particularly perfect, like in this case, you can see that it's not exactly good. And again, if the paper happens to be double-sided, great. If it's not, I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, that seems to work. So that's another option. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, I have gathered, and I think I'll go with some of the bigger ones first because, I mean, this is going to be hard for you to see, even though I have, you know, the camera is pretty low. So I've gathered a few different types of paper. So there's wrapping paper. This came out of a book. This is off a calendar. This is a drawer liner. This is something that very thin paper that I sprayed with some distress oxide sprays, wrapping paper, thin scrapbooking paper, 6x6 little strips, a digital, part of an atlas, and kind of more of the same. So let's just randomly pick one. Oh, I know what I liked here. This was something that I salvaged from, I don't know, I guess a book of some sort. And if you can see that it's the design, those roses are big enough that I could attach them and, you know, it would be pretty, it would be recognizable, and so on. Now, to be honest, that's pretty sticky. I have my glue stick ready. I wonder. Okay, let me change my mind. You've never seen that happen before. I just know. I'm going to try on a piece, on an area that I care less about. So this is just some little lacy bit. That will fit on there quite nicely. I'm going to see what happens, if anything, if I add glue. Now, probably nothing will happen because, you know, the glue dries clear. At least I'm hoping that's what the result will be. We'll do this little experiment on this tiny piece. Oopsie. Slippery little bugger. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put that one off to the right. On the left-hand side, this is like a science experiment. We will try this with no glue, and then maybe I'll do a tug test in a little while. Now, the ones of these that don't have a little hole, I would be using my finest little punch to make a hole once they are, you know, once I'm done with them. Okay, so we'll leave that there momentarily. Oh, the other thing that I have handy in case I want to use them are this little drawer that I have with punch outs. Now, a lot of them are, well, these tiny ones, I think they'd be with my 5/8 punch. But they could also, okay, that's, oh, no, too small. So on these small ones, I mean, that's a cute little lilac there. No, there'd be a fair bit that would have to be cut off there. So I just have them nearby as an option if I need them. But, so we'll set that aside for now. I did want to try one other thing with the ink. Now, I've already said that I think that looks very smooth. I'm going to that rattling that you heard, I bought a grab bag of napkin rings. Really, I wanted these guys because I think they could be very nice. What I also got in the bag were 4 of these and 6 of these that I will be taking apart for the component pieces. Now, my husband is busy trying to plant a crop, so I haven't bothered him, and I haven't really dug out my heavier duty wire cutters. But what my intention would be is to cut this off as close as possible to then give me these little guys to work with. So that's what you heard rattle off camera. Anyway, what I was saying was that there are these fine little cracks. So let's just see. Now, they may be on the underside, so this might do nothing. But if they are... Oh. Well, it's taking the ink, surprisingly. But I wonder... Basically, it's just covered the entire surface. So I'm going to set this one aside also. Give it a little time for the ink to dry. And see in a bit if it will rub off. So where is our... Oh my God. Okay, that doesn't really want to come off. This one does. So I suspect that this is the one that has the glue stick on it. I guess if I worked at it hard enough, I could get it off. But anyway, so I think I can't see. Let me have a better look under the light. I cannot see any glue residue, so I'm thinking just for peace of mind, I will be using glue stick. And then, of course, you know, neatly cut around, and you've got a tiny little something to use as you wish. I think that the obvious choice is to use it as part of a mini dangle of some sort. Okay, that means I can safely do this big guy. And you know what? It might be better if I knew exactly where. I was going to say it might be better to put the glue on the surface of the paper. I'm going to try that. So this bottom quadrant. Probably a little easier to get nice smooth coverage. Just trying to select kind of an interesting part. So that shows us parts of 3 roses and, whoops, and an indication of a stem. I managed to move that. Okay, let's get this off here, just so it is not in my way. Okay, maybe just for the heck of it, because I mean, obviously you don't need to watch me do many more of these because it's so freaking easy. But maybe what I should try are these bigger guys. You may have heard me gush over this paper before. I love it so much. It's so dainty. And what you'll notice is that almost without exception, everything that I've picked here is either an overall pattern or it is a very tiny pattern. So tiny little flowers, so that the proportions seem right. Tiny little words and roads and rivers. So I'm going to, I could get 2 out of this one. So let's just, now in this case, I'll have to put the glue around the rim. And of course, the middle will be unprotected. But I think that's going to be fine. So peel it off the backing. Add a little skim of glue. Now these things, I don't know if you can really see that at home or not, but they kind of have a yellowish cast to them. So I don't know if that was their original color or if that's some, oh brother, this is kind of messy. Or if that is something that has happened over time, you know, because it's trying to get a wet one out. And of course, I get to you know, maybe it started yellowing because they're old. I don't know. It's certainly easier when you don't have to worry about a hole in the middle. Anyway, this is just, you know, insurance for the stickiness of the original glue. So I guess if I missed a spot, that would be fine as well, because do I have my, I need a card here for, it's just some insurance against that original glue. If I missed a spot, it will not matter, because there's plenty of other places where it is attached. Boy, some days it's hard to walk and chew gum. And again, I'm just working the little design there to see where, mind you, I could leave that as it is. Why don't I mix it up a bit? Yeah, I'll use this. Again, just basically cutting off the excess because I don't need it in my way. Maybe if I just peeled back this and did it half and half, I'd keep my fingers out of it. Anyway, I had to be in Edmonton 2 days in a row. So I've begun stopping into garden centers. And normally I wouldn't be shopping this early because, as I've said before, we don't really plant things until the May long weekend, because then if there's a threat of frost, you have to cover everything up that you've planted. Tiny red fiber there. So I don't really relish all that extra work. And it's a busy time of year at the farm, and I'm, having to run here and there and everywhere for parts and repairs and get this fixed and get that welded and whatever. But I also know that usually by the time I buy, the selection is poorer. There may be some sale. I mean, things maybe are already starting to get reduced in price, but probably have to settle for something that I maybe didn't really want. I'm going to do one of these, and I don't know if you can tell that there's some shine to that. So yeah, I came home yesterday with the back of the car just packed with bedding plants, some some perennials. And so because I got home really late, my daughter and I had tickets to the Citadel, which is the live theater in Edmonton. So we went to the last play of the season. And I didn't get home till about 11 p.m. Or was it 10:30? I don't know. Anyway, late. And I wasn't in any frame of mind to want to start unpacking the car. So I did that this morning, dragged them all outside. But because I need to get ahead on these videos, I haven't really watered any of them. So I will have to go out there and see if who needs what. And I suppose one of these days when I get caught up a bit with video making, I will have to get out there and at least plant the perennials, because presumably they can take whatever is coming at them. It would have to really be an extreme thing for a perennial to be killed. Not to say that that hasn't happened. There have been, I don't know what kids these days are doing, but back in the day, my son was a teenager. A bunch of them went to a lake. I don't know how far it is. Anyway, it was one of I think maybe a little party central or something. And of course, they just had tents. And you think it didn't snow the May long weekend? So that can put a crimp in some plans. Okay, I'm going to do one. Or maybe I'll do two of these on an atlas page. And then I'll stop because, obviously, you know what to do. If you see these, I think they're worth having. I think they they're easy to use, easy enough to use. I think they create a cute little finished product. And They're probably easier, and certainly if they're thrifted, cheaper than something like Glossy Accents or whatever. So same sort of scenario. You know, where you get sort of that shiny finished look to it. Do I want one that's mostly green? How about a place called Deadwood? Oh, that's in Texas. Oh, and I said, now with these, I can put the glue on the paper, make it a little easier to handle. Oops. So yeah, these guys are really cute. And what I have to do when I have a wee bit more time is get all my dangles in one place. I have a little, another little drawer thing here with a few things thrown in there that have, that were made using jewelry. I'm just gonna clean off the surface. So I think, let me see what you can see. Again, I have some more interesting papers. I could keep going, and in fact, I might. But I also want to, I should maybe cut out these two just so you'd see what they look like. And maybe that big one. I have quite a few of these left to do. And, you know, chop, chop. I have things to plant, videos to make, people to see, places to go, you know, all that stuff. So I probably should just cut this out so you can see it. And then let you get on with your day, and I'll get on with the rest of mine. Now this, obviously this center part is a little more vulnerable because it's just paper. But again, it, you know, so what? We just use plain old paper every day of our lives. And unless you attack it with scissors or sharp objects, it withstands normal use. I actually like these. And when it comes time to punch the hole in the corner, I can decide where I want to do that. Well, I guess I'll figure out which I think is the top. And then, you know, is it centered? Is it offset into a corner? And, you know, because that will change how it hangs. Oh my God, did you see what I did here? What a turkey. I didn't take the acetate off. That's interesting, but that is not what I was supposed to be doing here. Now we have my fingerprint on there. Okay, let's pick something else. Do we want this iris? This iris? Let's figure out, okay, this is the top. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I want to use part of this. And to me, that looks Ukrainian. Poshtovia. like post office. Kuda means where. Kumu means who. Look at that. Oh, God, I'm putting the... This one is... Maybe it's time for me to call it a day. Go out and water some plants instead. Stay the heck away from a camera and trying to string sentences together. Putting glue on the wrong side. Okay, where do I want this? I'm going to catch both the blue and the green. Whoa. Straighten it out. That's the thing to be aware of if you're using one with that already has its hole in it. You want it to face the proper way so that it hangs right when you trim it. Okay, 3 more to trim. Well, 4 counting this one. Yeah, anyway, so I wonder, have you done any of your planting? I guess depending where you live, you could have things in full bloom and things that have been actively growing for months already. Oh, and these that are that have the holes, obviously I have to punch them just to get through the paper backing. Oh, see, that one didn't glue down very well. Now, you know, it's like anything else. We try our best. We do it quickly. When making a video, we hope for good results. But if I were to find, you know, a week, 2 months from now, whatever, that something is lifting, then obviously I just probably end up giving it a dab off our glitter glue because of that cute little, fine little nozzle. And again, how you choose, whether you choose to layer them, excuse me, or this is not going to be big enough. I have another. Yeah, this should be about the right size. Whether you, how you hang them, whether you choose to layer them. Now the other thing, now this one has a bit of a design showing. Oh, and this one, of course, has another map at the back. But it, yeah, so does that one. These are plain, and I'm going to leave those plain. But as I said before, a person could, if you're using two-sided, why am I going under or over that guard? If a person had two-sided paper, no problem. If it's white, no problem. If it is, whoops, I can hardly see what I'm doing here. Ah, I'm missing the... Surely I have enough strength to punch. Yes, looky there. These guys will need the tiny punch. Okay, which is up here. It's probably non-directional. Yeah, they're growing in every direction, so this is maybe the most boring corner, so I'll pick this one. Oh, what is the problem? That was a resounding. Now, I guess, I don't, because I'm making a new hole, it doesn't have to be that gigantic. I think that a paper clip would go through even this tiny hole. Or maybe a person ends up using a bulb pin instead. Probably, oh boy, I'm kind of far from the corner there. Anyway, I'm going to cut out this last one and let you go. I think this is a really cute idea and easy peasy. Easy peasy. Okay, guys, thank you. And remember, remove the acetate. Although I have to say, I like this and I like this. So who knows? Maybe something new has been invented here now. Okay, thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.